Hi, and welcome to the Trucking Scribe. It's Esther. Today we're working on the envelope journal for Jesus in July. We're putting lace on it and we're going to do signatures. So we're also collaborating with Sweet Pea Papers, Terry over at Sweet Pea Papers. She has 25 beautiful collaborators that are working on projects, one a week at least, for the month of July. So she's doing Crafty Christmas in July 24. So you need to use that hashtag. She also had 11 companies, designers that donated kits to the collaborators. So this will be going on between July 1st and July 31st. There will be a drawing on August 1st. To enter the drawing, you must take a picture and post it in Sweet Pea Papers and junk journaling tutorials or more. You can do one or the other, or you can do both. Make sure you have the hashtag Crafty Christmas in July 24. That will be how you enter into the drawing. Anywhere that you want to post your pictures, you can put that hashtag on and we can see them all around. So that is the first thing. The second thing is we're doing this bingo with Kara Brandon. So she has this over on her Facebook group, and I've been working on it. And then lastly, we're doing Jesus in July 24. So these are all the creators. There's 7 of us. We're all using the hashtag Jesus in July 24. So we're looking for posts all over social media. So any of these, put the hashtag on, post them up all over social media so people can get excited about Christmas and definitely excited about the birth of Jesus in July. There's no sense in waiting on Christmas. So there's a lot going on, a lot of hashtags, but there's good reason for it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you. Today the Bible study is on Joseph's dream and his acceptance of testament of faith. We're going to read Matthew 1:18 through 25, the birth of Jesus the Messiah. This is how Jesus the Messiah was born. His mother Mary was encouraged to marry Joseph, but before the marriage took place, while she was still a virgin, she became pregnant through the power of the Holy Spirit. Joseph, to whom she was engaged, was a righteous man and did not want to disgrace her publicly, so he decided to break the engagement quietly. As he considered this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream. Joseph, son of David, the angel said, "Do not be afraid. Take Mary as your wife, for the child within her was conceived by the Holy Spirit, and she will have a son, and you are to name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins." All of this occurred to fulfill the Lord's message through his prophet. "Look, the virgin will conceive a child. She will give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel," which means God is with us. And this is in Isaiah 7:14. When Joseph woke up, he did as the angel of the Lord commanded and took Mary as his wife. But he did not have sexual relations with her until she was born, until her son was born, and Joseph named him Jesus. So Joseph is a man that's not talked about a lot in the Gospels. He's very, very little is known. From the reading, we can see that Joseph is a carpenter. He's a protector. He's honorable. He's faithful, obedient, dependable. He's a teacher because he teaches Jesus the laws of the Jewish beliefs. So Joseph had 4 dreams. When he found out that Mary was pregnant, was the first dream. Then when he needed to take his family to Egypt to keep them safe, then the return back and the dream that said that they were to live in Nazareth. So the other thing that I found, and this here was out of this book, David Jeremiah, Why the Nativity. It's a little book, but it's really good. So he asked the question, why Joseph? And he talks about it, why Joseph was so special. And these were some of the descriptions that Dr. Jeremiah actually put in his writing here. He did say that in the Jewish culture, the man was the center of a wedding, not the woman. So certainly Joseph's life was proceeding in that direction as he was preparing for his wedding. In Jewish culture, unlike our own, the groom was the focus of the wedding. Joseph must have looked forward to that celebration and the simple life that would follow, of taking Mary into his household, of having children. The carpenter was fashioning a well-constructed life. And then came the dream. So that was the dream that I just read. This is what I wrote for the Bible study. In the story of the birth of Jesus, one episode that often stands out is Joseph's dream and his acceptance of the divine message. This event is not just a fascinating tale, but carries profound lessons about faith, trust, acceptance. Joseph, a carpenter by profession, was betrothed to Mary. He loved her dearly and was looking forward to their life together. However, when he learned that Mary was pregnant, he was confused and heartbroken. He knew he was not the child's father, and under normal circumstances, he would have quietly ended their engagement. So he wouldn't have made a big deal about it. He would have been honorable and done the right thing. But God had different plans. One night, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream. The angel told Joseph that the child Mary was carrying was conceived by the Holy Spirit, and she would give birth to a son who was to be named Jesus, for he would save his people from their sins. This was an extraordinary revelation, one that would defy logic and reason. But Joseph, a man of faith, did not question or doubt. He accepted the divine message and decided to stand by Mary, taking her as his wife. His actions were a testament to his unwavering faith and trust in God. So we're going back to these characteristics of Joseph. Joseph's acceptance of the divine message shows his remarkable strength of character. He was willing to defy social norms and expectations for the sake of his faith. Can you imagine being the one that is the center of the ridicule and the hate because you're doing something that's different from what everybody else is doing? So Joseph was standing up and taking Mary for his wife, but they had no sexual relations until after Jesus was born. This is a powerful lesson for us all. It reminds us that faith sometimes requires us to make difficult decisions and to stand by them, even when they defy conventional wisdom. Moreover, Joseph's dream and acceptance tested his trust in God. He trusted God's plan for him, even when it was difficult to understand. This teaches us the importance of trust in the relationship with God. He reminds us that even when things don't make sense, we must trust that God is in control and has our best interests at heart. In conclusion, the episode of Joseph's dream and acceptance is crucial to the Christmas story. It serves as a powerful example of faith, trust, and acceptance. It reminds us that, like Joseph, we're called to trust in God's plan for our lives, even when it doesn't align with our society's expectations. So some of the things that I got out of I did the Bible study and wrote it up, but I'm going back and I'm reading it before I come and do this part of the Bible study. And I'm learning other things. So Matthew is the book that we just read out of. Is the first book of the New Testament, contains more teachings of Jesus than any other gospel. It is the second longest of the four canonical gospels. So the four canonical gospels are Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Joseph was Jesus's earthly father. And down here, I wrote right here, Joseph adopted Jesus at birth, so Jesus could legally call Joseph father. So Joseph was a descendant of King David. That was in the prophecies. He was from Bethlehem. That was also in the prophecies. There was a census decreed by Caesar, and so everybody had to go back to their hometown. And that's why Jesus was born in Bethlehem, because of the census. Joseph and Mary had to travel for 80 or 90 miles in the last part of her pregnancy to get to Bethlehem. So Joseph is only mentioned in regards to Jesus' birth, the flight to Egypt, and the return to Galilee. There is one other reference to Joseph when Luke tells the story of Jesus' teaching in the temple at 12. So Jesus is saying that Mary says that she's been worrying, and Jesus says, "Why are you worrying? I was with my Father." Well, they didn't understand what Jesus was telling them. He was with his Father, God, and doing God's business. So I found this part right down here at blueletterbible.org. There is a nice article that I will link below to so that you can go and find that. So I did go and do some study on day one. And I wrote in here because I just got the journal fixed yesterday. So I did all this. I have not went back and done writing on day two, but I will. So then right here, I think what I'm going to do is have this little piece of music paper that I'm going to glue down for this tag. I wonder if I need a little bit of this was just some scraps that I had. I don't need that much. And I'm also going to leave a link to this book. It's $2.99 on Amazon. It's really good. You can see it's not very big. It has 25 chapters, and the chapters are like anywhere from 2 to 3, 4 pages. They're not very long. They're very simple, I think, easy to read. So I am going to be using this book in December for another Bible study then on Jesus and the birth of his birth. So I hope that you'll check into this book. Like I said, there's 25 chapters. You can see there's like just a few pages for each chapter, and just to give you an idea of what chapters we's talking about, these are the chapters, so you can pause it and see all those that he's going to talk about. So, Joseph is a man that really doesn't get a lot of recognition in the Bible when you think about it. He gets talked about when Jesus is born, but after that, we say we know very little of him. But when I started listing the characteristics that he has, and these are just a few, there's more that I can add to that. It's like, wow, this man, for how little bit he's mentioned in the Bible, he is there is a lot to see about him. So I did go ahead and glue this on to scrapbook paper and sew it around it because I wanted to use the tag, but we're going to be doing tags later. Let's see, I'm just going to maybe put this, let's see, I'm just trying to make like a little cluster or something to make it look good. So this is just a little stapler. I'm going to staple that. This was some of the washi tape from the edges, and then this is some of the excess lace from these. So I am going to show you, we're fixing, so now we're going to work on putting these together. So I'll be right back. So in the introduction, I talked about Sweet Pea Papers and the Crafty Christmas in July that we're working on. I also want to talk about Christmas in July bingo that Kara Brandon Creations has in her Facebook group. So you play this like bingo. You get 5 across either way, and that means you won. So far, I've done use a stencil, use washi, and assemble journal signatures. I'm kind of all over the place, and I'm not intentionally going this way or that way. I'm just doing it and then looking what's on here. So the other thing that's going on this month is Jesus in July. This is Jesus's creative team. There's Deb, Samantha, Christina, Sandra, Rhonda, and Jeanette. And then there's myself, and we have a new addition. Her name is Wendy. I will see if I can get her picture up here too. So please go and check out these ladies' videos. We are using the hashtag Jesus in July 24. This is an open collaboration, so anything that has to do with Jesus, that has to do with Christmas, it could be pictures of a Christmas tree or lights or crafts, whatever makes you think of Jesus's birth. The team will be looking for Jesus in July 24 on social media platforms, and we'll be leaving comments as we can. So it's right there. Today we are working on these journals. So I actually have 2, but I'm only going to have one over here for right now. So in the order of, and I've got to make a list so I can do this, probably laminate it like I did these, and then we can just mark them off as we go. So we put the envelopes together, and then we covered the envelopes with pages just as a refresher. So next, what I want to do is I need some paper clips. So usually the front page, I will put a flip up envelope, which we'll do collage one. Then I want tabs that go all the way across. So I'm going to be using this hole punch, and I've already determined on the 5x7 envelopes that 5 will fit straight across here evenly. So I now want one, well, wait a minute. So there will be one on the front because that flip up envelope will have a tag in it. So we'll have a tab there. I know I want one on the back. So I'm going to put one there. So that leaves the 3 in the middle. Let's see how many pages I got. 2, 3. So this is the middle of those. So I can put one here. And you don't have to do it this way. I just like to kind of figure out, wait a minute, I think this was going to be the middle. I just kind of like them spaced out. Doesn't matter. I mean, this is just me. So this one's going to go kind of, I forget, I moved my camera. I was asking yesterday if it was better up or down, and Fit Kitty left me a message saying that let's try this green area. So that's what we're going to do. I can kind of see y'all a little bit closer, but you're on my phone, so I don't have to get up at this point. I have a big camera. I like my phone because it takes just as good of pictures, or probably better. So if you look now, these are where my tabs are going to be. So one here, 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 and here. I'm going to take and go ahead and trim these pages. I'm going to leave this one because that's the one I'm going to have envelope flip on it. I'm just going to keep my paper clips out because I need them again in a minute. So just carefully, you don't need a big piece, just enough to open that envelope. And try and be gentle with them. Not that I'm very gentle, but and definitely don't cut your paper clip. So then I'm just going to go back and put the paper clips because we're fixing to do lace, and I need to know where these spots are. Okay, so we have that done. I have my paper clips on here. Now what I want to do is bring my lace over and start looking at what I have. Okay, so I like this lace, and I get it at Joann's. Is this one wider? I think it's the same one. And these pins, keep them because they are really good. Put in your glue bottles, they don't rust. So what I'm going to do first is I know that I want, so I have two, don't forget that. I know that I want this on the front of both journals, so I'm going to probably go ahead and cut two at a time as I go. And I think I want another one because I like the ruffle part of it. And I may not put this last one, but it is the size that I would use, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it. So I do kind of want to stay with the beige colors. I think we'll try this one. I mean, we could use the white, but I would think I'd want to go with the coffee dyed. And any extras that's left from these, I will put in my bear over there. So I'm going to keep my daisies. I'm not going to use those today. I like them though. I do like that, but do I want it? It's kind of a floppy one, but it is pretty. I think that one would be nice, just like that, as a page, a belly band. I'm going to cut this much off of it so I don't forget that I got it. I have some white. I don't think I want to try that this time. Oh, so here, this is the 8.5 by 5 7/4 envelope, and this was how the template that I made for it. Trying to see what sizes. So here's a couple more of these. And I am going to use some fabric too, that I like making fabric ruffles. There's probably some in here that I'm going to see what we got. So I don't need lace on every single page. That would be cute too, maybe. Let's stick it over here. Because I'm going to put this box back over yonder in a few minutes out of the way. So I like this. This would be nice to do something with. It's not wide enough for my cover or for my spine. I'm just kind of looking at what all I got in here. I might could use that. I do like this, so this would be nice on the front cover of a journal. Don't want to use black in this one. So next month we have a sunflower collaboration coming up, and I'm going to use the black on that because I only used quite a bit of black for borders, and I made them thicker, and I think it would look good as a black trim. This I'm going to keep out. Let's see. Let me look at that one. This is stiff yellow. See this? I'm gonna make some of these ruffles too, but that color doesn't go with what we're doing today. At least I don't think so. Yeah, I like that, but let us say I don't have. But then there's some angels that I'm thinking about right here. What do you think? So I got them, and there are those other angels too. That looks good too, so we're going to keep it out in one of our piles. I just use a Powerade box sometimes. Sometimes I have these other things. How do you guys store your ribbons? I think we're done with this one. I may want some of this though, so we'll go ahead and pull it out and stick in our pile. I don't think I want this right now, so we'll stick that one in the other box. So some of this would look really pretty on the cover. Let's see what I do there. Look good also is a big pocket. So I need to remember that when I'm going to set it to the side because I may want to use it. This is a printout for paper pieces. I don't know what it goes to though. If I set up all my ribbons, they sit pretty good. I like this one. Here's a gray one. Purple can come out and go. It can go with violet. I'm going to put violet. I'm still working on violet on the side. So I do want to get this out. I'm not sure how I'm going to use it yet, but I think it goes really well with these. Like I said, I like the burlap. I don't know that I'm going to have room for all of it. I have some ideas for the cover. So this might work too. I want that brown. We might use it. Mm-mm. In my other basket over here. Let's just stick these over there. Don't want the whites. This is kind of a brown color. I think this one. So I have this. I could ruffle that up. Here's some more browns that would go good with this. Here's a piece of red. So this is my scrap bin. I do have more, but I think we're gonna go with this. We will look in our scrap there. So this is my scrap there where I just stick all my little pieces in. You can see that would look nice. I know not the yellow. I don't want the yellows. That maybe. So sometimes what I do is get a little basket to put all the stuff that I'm working on. So I have one for Violet somewhere that has the laces and trims that I had picked out for her. So Miss Deb sent this to me. It is just beautiful. You might be able to use some of this and that. This is for something different. So I'm going to actually put that over here in the big box. That is a possibility with some fabric. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, since I have a big mess, and I want to leave some pages without anything. So I do know the front page, I want this. What I'm going to do is grab my pins over here and my things. So right now I'm going to leave this one. So I do want some lace on the very back here. And I like my ruffles. So this ruffle is different than that. So I am going to get some of this out since it's a different ruffle. And I'm going to put one of these. So I'll put one in the front, one in the back of that. I'm thinking this would look good scrunched up right there. What fabric do I have? That would almost be perfect, but I'd rather it be coffee dyed. Or I could just cut this in half. Because it's so big, I don't know if I'd use it on a lot of other stuff. Okay, so those two can go together. They need ruffling. Let's see, I'm going to leave that one open. There's one. Okay, so I need something right in here. Maybe I'll do this one. And then I'll put one here. So right now I'm just really looking to see what I got. Somehow I got my piles together and mixed them up. So I have this one that's very long. So we'll start with that. So when you are sewing your lace onto the text block, you need something, which I'm just using a candle because it's the same height as my sewing machine. Now, if you had a plate that goes across it or it sits down on the table, you wouldn't need to worry about that, but I don't on this sewing machine, so I just kind of put the candle under there as a prop, and then I just So I do usually stitch on the lace part when I do that, just to give it a little more strength. So then you're going to do the next one. Make sure you have one envelope and not two. I did that. I messed up a while ago on the other one, and I had to take it apart. So then you're just lining all this up under there. The non-ruffles are usually easier. And I just keep going, pulling these little things off as I go and putting my book back up on here. And then, let's see, let me turn this to the outside because I want the ruffle, or I guess the ruffle, the circle thing on the outside. I'm checking my lace to make sure it's turned right side up, and I'm just sticking this. Now this kind of ruffle can be a pain. But what you do is you get a pointy little tool like this, and you just hold it. You just hold it in there. That's it, was sticking. Keep your fingers out of the way, because you can sew right over your finger. It just happened. You say, no, your finger's too fat to fit in there. It's happened. I haven't done it yet. Don't want to, but I've seen. Okay, so now I'm going to ruffle this one. What I'm going to do is just put both of these, so I've got two pieces, putting them together, sticking it under the foot. And then I'm going to take my little, I can't think of stylus, and I'm going to run it under there. This is definitely where you need to keep your fingers out the way. And I just kind of go slow because my stylus is under there. I do have glasses on, so that is a good thing. In case that needle ever breaks and the pieces go flying at you, glasses help. Even if they're just for that, and you don't need to. But when I didn't have to have glasses, I never wore them. Now that I can't see, let's see, this is my first one. I'm going to put this one in the middle, I think, because I may come back and put another smaller ruffle on here, just like this. I'll put some more fabric ruffles on it. That's something you can do later too. I mean, you don't have to do all this right now. So this is how this is turning out. What I'm doing is I'm going in and clipping the lace down, fixing the size, and I'm trimming the tails too because I don't like them. Keep that. Stick it if you got a fabric bear like me, just stick it in there. If you got a box, something, throw it all in one place, because these little bits can be used for clusters, and you could add them actually on pages like this. Just keep putting them one behind the other, and you have an eclectic layer of lace. So I am going to try and get, because I don't have it, and I have to remind myself every time I do these, because there is a process that that you need to follow so you can get everything together, because you can't put your spine on until you get your I can't even think, until you get the covers done. You really need to wait and do your laces too if you're sewing them on. You can do them afterwards, but once you put those covers on, you'll have more to deal with when you can do it just like this. We're going to need to glue those pockets, and I'm going to show you why here in a minute. An example. Because the last one I made, I had a lady ask me to explain. Serendipitous Crafter, that's her name. She asked me, well, don't you have 16 pockets? Technically, you do have 16 pockets. So, both of these have the same amount of pockets or envelopes. There's 16 here, there's 16 here. So we don't have the covers on yet. But look at this. And there's no ephemera yet. I have some, I just haven't put it in there yet. So it will stretch at least that far. And the stretch comes from this right here, from the pockets. You could glue all of these, and then your book will be like this. So you'll be not really be able to open it very well. But if you leave these envelopes open and just, the reason you need to glue this is because when you put stuff in, you don't want it falling out your spine. So this is, you can see in there the holes and the envelopes, your stuff would fall out. So what I'm going to do is just take some glue, and I'm going to find my first one. So right here, you can see all the way through. So what I do is I just pretty much take my hand so I can find the right one, and I glue this edge right across here. You see. So if you don't remember, you have to go back and figure out which one that was. That one was this one. Right there. So what I'm doing is I'm going to clip these so that glue can dry. And it doesn't take long with that glue. So then I just go to the next one. So that one we just did. Here's the next one. I'll open it up. You can see all the way through. So that's where I want to put the glue this time, is right here on this edge. And then I'm just going to press it and get the glue to kind of squish it and smush it all in there. And this one, I'm just kind of taking it and using it like a brayer to kind of push that together. Okay. So let's see. I get this one. I think I did. Yep. So there's only 4 if you cut them like I did. You can cut more, so I'm missing one somewhere in there. I gotta find it. I'm just going to do the same thing right here. And then let me find this other one. So it should be right in here. Did I do that? I did do that. Okay, so this one's going to be a half pocket. We will put see, that's why you check and make sure you're not sewing them on the pockets. But we're going to leave it like that. We're going to work around it and fix it. So that one is this, and I'm going to glue the whole thing, just like I did the other ones. I must have taken the paper clip off, or I didn't take the paper clip off, it was at one side or the other, and I just didn't notice it. I've done that in the past, so that's not a great big deal. So now I'm going to make pages for this, and we don't need a full-size sheet of paper, is too long, so we're going to cut them down. We need about 5 inches. Yeah, I'd say about 5 inches by 7. So 5 by 7, we can cut these down. These are copy dyed pages. So I usually put about 7 pages in my, I do 3 signatures, and I do about 7 pages in them. So let's see. I do need, so we need to do 10 by 7. So I'm going to use this little piece. So what I'm doing is I'm just tearing these. And we'll have a stack over here. So I will be back when I get these torn, because I know you don't want to sit here and hear this. And what I'm doing is I am using my mat to line up over here, and then I can line my ruler on this 10-inch mark and just save your pages, save your extras. So I'll be back and just, so I am back. I have tore all these down to 10 by 7. I have all of this. I'm just going to put it in a drink box because I like to save all my scraps, and these are really good scraps because they're coffee dyed on top of that. So we can do some stuff. We can do some stamping. We could make some little notes and stuff. But I'll put it in there for now. Put it over to the side. So I'm just folding these up. So what you do is you put them inside each other, 7 of them. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is called a signature. And if you have a paper sticking out like that, you might want to trim it. It's up to you. So I have 2 journals in gravel. And I want 3 signatures in each journal. So that is, this is 3. 1 signature, 2, 3. So there's a signature is a section of pages that go together. Have another set over here. I'm thinking I'm going to put these in there, so I need to trim off. I'm trimmed off the edge, so this is now an open envelope. I'm just going to fold it in half. And I'm going to put 1 in each book, so it doesn't matter where. It's just going to go just like this, like a paper. Put it in here and stick these pages back in. So now you have that. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm just going to take some out, doesn't matter where. Unless you want it in a particular spot, you just put it in there. Close it up. So what I'm going to do next is find some, I don't know if this needle would fit. I don't know if it will or not. I think I'm going to go with the brown. Not that it really matters a whole lot because you won't see it on the outside. You will see it on the inside, so I guess it does matter. So what I do is I go through here and I kind of count pages and think about where I want signature to be. And really, I don't know why I don't like them right there by the cut one. So I'll put one here. And put one here. And then put one towards the back. There's no particular reasoning other than just to kind of get them to where they're spread out. So there's some in between. And like I said, I didn't want it to be right next to one of the pocket pages. It can. I've done that in my other journals. I just prefer this way better. So next I'm going to take my string, my thread, and I'm going to count about 2 generous lengths. And actually I can go ahead and just cut them all. So I've got these ready. I have my awl. You can use an awl. You can just, if you need to, you could use your needle and just poke the hole. If you don't have an awl, there's different alternatives. So what I'm doing is I'm going to the middle of my page, of my signature right here. And if you have print, now is definitely the time to make sure your writing's going the way you want it to. So I've got these all laid flat. One right behind the other. There's the bag. The open sides on the outsides. And what I'm going to do, last time I tried this without pins, and usually it's a little bit easier when I just put them in here like this. So I'm just taking this one page and I'm pushing it right there in the seam, or in the, I guess seam is a good word. So since I am not going to have a cover, and let's see, do I have to? No. So you're not going to see this part really. You might, but probably not. So you won't notice if you are off a little. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come maybe an inch from the top, and I'm careful and fold my paper down so I can get it to go through that envelope. And I'm going to come about halfway down, fold it, and push again straight in. It's a little bit shorter than I wanted. Actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to put another one because I slipped. So that one will be fun. I'm using wax linen thread. You can get them on Amazon. There are different bookbinding places you can also get these on. I used to have a lot, and I don't know where I did with them. So I'm going to ignore this hole. It got moved, so I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to come in the middle, and I'm going to hold that with that finger. And then I like to go to the top, and I just go in to the top, and I'm going to come all the way to this bottom one, and I'm going to go out, and I'm going to come in right back there again. So what you can do is you can kind of gently move these so you're getting them even, or you can just take and chop them off after you tie a good knot. So 2 ties. Usually I just do a little bow here because you never know when somebody might want. So here is that signature right here. And I'm just going to go in and do the same thing right here. I'm going to find my middle page. I'm going to line this up. I'm going to check to make sure my pages are going the right way. And then I'm going to clip them. And see where I'm looking is right here, this little bit that's hanging over and this little bit. Just trying to have them about the same. Let's see. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to thread my needle. And you can go in any order. You can thread the needle first, or you can poke the holes. And I'm just going to try this time to get that one in the middle right here. It slipped on me, I think, a while ago, or I may have had it there. I'll have to look at the video and see. So again, I'm just going to go in the middle. Hold this with that finger. And then I'm going to go to the top. And if you have the pins on it, it helps. Then it doesn't move as much. I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. And then I'm going to come all the way to the top, or to the middle of the top. So now what I have done, I don't know if you can see it right here, this needle is going right through the middle of that thread, which is not a good thing, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it out and show you how I fix it. I just take the needle off, and then I try and get in here. See, this is that whole thread. It went straight through the middle of the other one. So if you can get it out and loose like that, you can just tighten it up. Check your stitches on that side. And then that one's done. So then you're going to do the same with the next one, although it's fallen out. So let me figure out where I wanted it. I think I want it right here. Check to make sure that your pages are going the same way. I know I sound like a broken record, but when you put them in upside down and you have to take them back out, you'll be like, yep, I should have checked, because I've done that way too many times to count. I'm going to clip these in and do the same thing. So about an inch from the top, somewhere in the middle, and an inch from the bottom. Again, I'm going in the middle. And then I just go to the top. So if you were doing this to where the spine is exposed, you would want to have a template to put these holes in. That way they would be more even though mine ain't too bad. This one's a little lower, this one's a little higher. But you'd want it to be more together. So I don't think I did go through that one. These are close enough. So you don't want to pull hard on these because you'll rip your pages. So I hope you really enjoyed the Bible study today and talking about Joseph. I learned a lot. If you're new here, it would be great if you hit that subscribe button. If you've been here a while and you're new also, it would be great if you hit the like button and the comment button and leave me a comment. See, it's starting to open up as we play with it. So have a great night. And I will see you later. Well, when we come back, we'll be putting the covers on. So now we're up to that stage. We should be done with the actual book this week. And then we'll start working on ephemera for the rest of the month. So thank you and have a great day.